Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're joining us from. We've had a variety of countries lately, man, that have dropped in to say hi, but I'm here with my buddy Shawn.
Hello.
We're going to jump in
to
the RNC. Right now, Eric Trump's talking, introducing his father.
Will be our success.
There we go. I'll be honest, I am mostly interested in what
for our grandchildren
Trump
and our
Sr.
children
has to say.
Under President Donald J. Trump, the swamp will be
Dana
drained.
White's going to speak
America will
after
be
him.
respected. Our cities
Dana
will
White
be
after
safe.
him.
Our streets
And
will
then
be
the
clean,
Trump.
and our border will once again be secure.
Good job.
Trump's supposed to go like
peace.
90 minutes tonight, so we'll see how long it goes.
Your hard-earned tax dollars will enrich a better America, not be squandered in corrupt foreign nations. Education will be handed back to the states. We will no longer be 30th in the world. We will be first.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, 30th.
30th is ridiculous. For being number one in military might, number one in the sheer scale of its economy there's no reason for the failures of the politicians, because that's exactly what it is.
Our children will understand family. Our children will have values, and our children will love God.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't.
So tired of being made out to be some sort
Our
of
country will prioritize free
radical
speech,
because I believe in
respect
God.
freedom of religion, and honor our Constitution.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see a movement to start getting rid of all these unconstitutional laws.
As his son,
they're all over.
I've never been more proud of a person in my life. A man who has defied all odds more than once.
Yeah.
A man who believed in the promise of America when others turned away. A man who saw a nation in need of a champion and answered that call with unwavering determination and courage. A man who survived a bullet that was intended to eliminate him permanently from our future and from our family. Never have I been more proud to be a Trump.
There's going to be a committee hearing on the Secret Service failure on Monday.
There needs to be.
It'll
they
be
had one already where allegedly they said they knew 10 minutes before Trump
Never have I been more proud to stand by my father's side.
But this one could be open to the
I
public. I think that was
incredibly honored
closed.
to be part of this journey, a journey with all of you, a journey to save the greatest country on earth, a journey with the most incredible people I have ever met. Dad, 5 days ago, Laura, Luke, Carolina, and I held our breath as we saw blood pour across your face.
Yeah, that had to be like...
By the grace of God, divine intervention, and your guardian angels above, you survived.
Yep. Thank God.
Yes.
We want Trump.
We want Trump?
I think that's what they said.
We love Trump.
We love Trump.
I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, we love Trump.
You are the greatest fighter I have ever seen. You are strong, you are full of life, and you are unapologetic. Your optimism is contagious. Your backbone is unbreakable. Your conviction to fight for what is right and against all that is wrong is truly next level. The whole world saw your strength as you stood up. You wiped the blood off your face, and you put your fist in the air in a moment that will be remembered as one of the most courageous acts in the history of American politics. You shouted, "Fight, fight, fight!"
Which was actually just, dude, amazing when I saw that. Absolutely incredible and inspiring. To me.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be your son. I'm honored to speak to our great nation tonight. You are a true leader. You epitomize strength.
Mm-hmm.
Our country loves you. Our country appreciates you. Our country misses you. And on November 5th, our country will re-elect you as the 47th President of the United States of America. Good night, Milwaukee. God bless you all.
Kid Rock was supposed to have a performance tonight too, so I
Was
don't
he?
know. Yeah.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on this and get back to it once the next speaker's up on stage, which I believe is Dana White, right?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's just the band that's playing, which we looked up last night. Apparently, they've gone quite viral since playing for the RNC.
Yeah, I never heard of them before.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I'll have to look it up again because I don't remember their name. Like, I want to say Stingray, but that's not it. It's something else. But you guys just look up the band at the RNC 2024, and it'll tell you. It was actually a kind of interesting article about
We went out.
the level of success that they're now seeing because of being at the RNC. We'll drop in real quick and see. Yeah, just some more music. So I have read and seen some very, very weird things regarding the assassination attempt, regarding
There's Hulk
the
Hogan.
buildings involved. Yeah, there's Hulk Hogan. The interesting connections. Let's just say that, right?
There's something wrong with the camera.
Whose, mine or yours?
Both.
What do you mean?
They're just circling.
It's showing up on my screen.
Okay. Just so you know, on my
Yeah,
screen.
and are you guys having problems seeing the camera? Because Shawn, on his screen, it shows loading. On my screen, it looks fine. Now, I was like trying to play with the camera setup, and I was trying to separate our two, but I'll worry about that later.
But anyway,
It looks, like I said, it looks okay to me.
I don't need a
Viewers, if
camera
you're
if
out
it
there,
doesn't, if it's still working out there, that's not big.
Yeah,
deal.
as long as you guys can see us, I guess we're okay.
Yeah, you were showing me some stuff before we went on the
Yeah,
air.
there are some very, very odd connections here. I also have an amazing collection of memes from just all kinds of stuff, man. All kinds of people dealing with it in the way they know how, which is humor, right? For those, especially those who work like high stress jobs, police officers, paramedics, doctors, construction workers, correctional officers, dark humor is very much a thing. Like you kind of have to have a degree of dark humor to do well or survive in those types of fields. So, is it still just the circle over there?
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
Do you want me to set up and then? I don't know but I don't know if it's going out there. I guess I don't need. Oh, I
wait,
see. Yeah,
it looks like your camera has frozen now. Okay, all right. So yeah, why don't you pop
Reset
off.
it?
Yeah, just like relog in, basically. Come back to the
Okay.
come back to the show. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen some very, very odd things. I'm gonna try during the course of this, especially if we have a significant lull. I'm gonna try to show you guys some of the stuff that I've seen. It is odd, the connections that have been made, the things that people are saying about, well, there's who owns the building that this individual was on. There were some very interesting changes with the building management in the months leading up to the convention. And like I said, allegedly the Secret Service knew of the threat to Trump. Are you back?
I don't
Is
have
there
a
something
link. I
going
don't
on?
see the link on here.
Oh, here, hold on. Just
Did you send it? I sent
Yeah.
you the phone.
pull. You got to pull.
Oops.
It's all right. We got it.
Oops.
Everything's under control. It's all right. Here, it should still be copied. Oh, well, yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Let's try this. Rookies, man. No, it's all good.
Oh, Melania.
All right.
Did you know that people everywhere are recommending good RNC?
She is there. I was wondering if she was there.
All right. There.
There it goes.
Excuse me.
She's classy. We haven't seen her in a while.
Right. It has been a little bit since we've seen her. All right. Had to do some camera.
All right,
finagling
there it goes.
but we're good now. There she is. She looks incredible, like always.
Yep.
I mean, she really does. She's always looked very regal, and just it fits her well. And she's super smart, dude. Like, how many languages does she speak? Like, it's a lot.
I want to say
6, 8?
9.
9? Holy cow! I know it's like a lot, way more than I speak.
Yeah, I speak 1.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go.
This is a story as uniquely American as the ideals and freedoms we all cherish. A story of a life dedicated to dreaming big. A story about giving back to the people in his beloved city. But most of all, this is a story about putting his country first. And it's a story best told in pictures. Young and confident, Donald Trump wasn't afraid to think big and build even bigger. And he left his mark on the New York skyline that greeted
certainly did.
visitors
He
from
did.
around the world. But he wasn't just an American entrepreneur. He became a folk hero. Celebrities and sports stars wanted to be seen with him.
Yeah.
Politicians sought his approval. And New Yorkers just loved him. And he loved them back. And he gave back. Just one example. Saving the Woolman skating rink.
The Woolman skating rink in Central Park is open again. The city spent nearly 6 years and $12
Must
million
have been
trying to
before I
fix
was
it.
around.
And then to the rescue, developer Donald Trump. As Tracy Egan tells us now, he accomplished in 3.5 months what the city couldn't do in 6 years.
Donald,
Not
you
surprised.
perform
Oh,
a
at
great
times.
public service.
Ed.
There was
Yep.
no denying that Donald Trump was the toast of the town. But he was also something even more important, a patriotic American. And like many others, he was becoming increasingly troubled by the direction of our country.
Because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined. I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning, because I think people. I don't know how your audience feels, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off.
But who would ever run for
Been talking about
president
that for
and lead
years.
such a glamorous life?
Right.
Appearances in movies, best-selling books, a widely popular TV show.
Yeah.
But for Donald J. Trump, the calling to save his country was even stronger. The mission, more important. The number of Americans being left behind, too large. And so, in Donald Trump fashion, he announced he was running for president, in it to win. And he did.
He did.
From his first day in office, the Washington politicians learned something about President Trump. He's not afraid to fight for what he believes in. They call that having the courage of your convictions. First up, the Trump tax cuts, largest in America's history, and it led to higher take-home pay for working families.
Yes, it did.
Unfortunately, today, taxes are up and incomes down. The politicians just never learn. Next for President Trump, secure our border. Check. Miles and miles of wall built. ISIS and other terrorists deterred. But now, we have the Barney Fife of border security.
Ouch.
Leading to 250,000 Americans
Ouch.
dead from
I guess
fentanyl coming
it
in.
hurts.
Not wrong.
Brutal migrant crime spreading across America. And ISIS now here. President Trump promised he'd keep America out of endless wars.
And he did.
And he did.
Welcome words to the families of our young men and women who serve.
And they
And
kept trying.
another promise kept.
Yep.
He started by strengthening our military, then traveled the world, meeting with our allies, and even with our main adversaries, just so they understood that America's strength and resolve was back. Because that's what a strong commander-in-chief does. And it led to a stable world at peace and our troops safe. Today, a different story. Our enemies smelled weakness, then set the world on fire. Putin saw it, then invaded Ukraine. Hamas saw it, then started a war in the Middle East. There's one more thing we've learned about President Trump. He believes so strongly in America, so optimistic for our possibilities, and so committed to fighting to once again make our country great, that there is nothing that is going to stop him.
All right.
Ladies
Pretty
and
badass
gentlemen,
commercial.
please welcome Kid Rock.
Oh, okay. We're doing Kid Rock now.
All right.
What up, America? If you're ready for President Trump to take the stage, I need everybody to stand up. I need everybody to put a fist up in the air. Everybody,
Down for that.
Fist up in the air. Now follow me. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say Trump, body scream. The devil without a cause. I'm back with the beaver hats some Bet Davis slacks, 30-pack of stroll, straight rock and roll. No road game in the propane flow. The chosen one, I'm the living proof with the gift to gab from the city of truth. You know I jab, stab, and knock critics back. And I did not stutter when I said that. I'm going platinum, selling rhymes. I went platinum 7 times. Still they ill and want to see us fry. I guess because only God knows why. Why? They call me cowboy. I'm the singer of black. Throw a fist in the air. Let me see where you at. Say fight. Say fight. Say fight. I say Trump. I like ACDC and ZZ Top. We'll see this beasties in the kings of rock. Skinner, Seeger, Lipcorn, the Stones. David Attico and the No-Show Jones. Yeah, pass that bottle of Brown. Got the rock from Detroit, the soul from Motown. The underground, straight Detroit pimp with tracks to match.
He's lip syncing that well out of this.
I don't play with ass. Well, watch me rock with Liberace Flash. Punk rock the Clash. Boy bands are trash. I like Johnny Cash and Grandmaster Flash. Oh, they call me cowboy. I'm the singer of the black. Throw a fist in the air. Let me see where you at. Say fight. Say fight. Say fight. I say Trump.
He's getting up there, man. You can tell. Look at it's putting him out. I mean, I couldn't do it.
No.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
I'm the ultimate. I'm like a amazing grace. I'm on rock and roll. Like a rock this place. All super fly. Living double wide. The big dog to ride. Shack to share. Bringing flash to flare. Like a long hair swinging middle finger in the air.
Oh, he's got a bald spot like I do.
So if you do, rock for freedom.
He's been around a while. So he's been around a while.
Oh, yeah.
Probably 55 now. Oh, Melania speaks 5 languages.
What?
Melania speaks 5 languages.
Say Trump. Say Trump.
53.
Say Trump. Say Trump. I need to hear you louder than that. One more time. I'm a cowboy, badass and black. You singing Trump. From side to side, from front to back. Come on, Trump. I put Detroit City back on the map. We singing Trump. Kid Rock's in the house. This is where I'm at. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the most patriotic American badass on earth, President Donald J. Trump. But first, another American badass, my brother, Dana White.
There's Dana White.
All right.
America.
Yeah, so allegedly Jim Jordan said the U.S. Secret Service whistleblowers told the committee there were limited resources to cover Trump due to Jill Biden's campaign rally in Pittsburgh and the NATO summit.
I heard that.
All right. So up next is Dana White to introduce DJT. We'll see how that goes. Dana White. So I just heard something interesting when Liz was in here.
Yeah.
Told us about Dana White, that allegedly he said he didn't like the fact that the fighters are thanking God.
I never heard that. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah. She said this. I don't know if it's true. I hope not. I think that would be very unfortunate. It'll cause me to lose a great deal of respect for the man. I'll be honest, man. I'm not like a massive Dana White
I'm
fan
not either.
Anyway, I think he has, some issues. I just realized this is like really crooked. It's bugging me. There, that looks better. All right, here he is.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dana White. I am the CEO and president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So 2 weeks ago, I got a call from President Trump asking me if I'd be willing to speak tonight. As usual, there was no pressure, no demands. He asked me as a friend, and of course I said yes. Then, after I accepted his offer, he sent me a text message, and I just want to read to you a little piece of what President Trump wrote to me.
Okay.
Dana, I'm so honored that you will be doing the introduction at the National Republican Convention. Think of it as the biggest fight you ever had, a fight for our country and even the world. I only wish you didn't have to interrupt your family trip, but I hope they understand they love you and they know how important this is.
Aww.
Now think about this. This man's running for president of the United States. He's fighting for the future of this country, and he's concerned about interrupting my family trip.
Yeah.
That's the President Trump that I know. A man who truly cares about people.
That's what I've heard.
The mainstream media likes to push the narrative that he doesn't care about anyone but himself.
Right.
I absolutely know that's not the truth because I've been friends with this guy for 25 years.
Yeah.
And for the people who know me, they'll know this is true. I just want to make something very clear. Nobody in the Trump campaign has ever told me what to say. Nobody tells me what to say, and I'm nobody's puppet.
Yeah. That's one thing I'll give him. I will give him that.
And I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you what I know. And I know President Trump. I know President Trump is a fighter. I've been saying this since 2015. Now look at what's happened over the last 10 years. We have all seen it with our own eyes.
Yeah.
I'm in the tough guy business. And this man is the toughest, most resilient human being that I've ever met in my life.
Right? That's a fair point.
Yes.
The higher the stakes, the harder he fights. And this guy never, ever gives up.
No.
So what's at stake here? The answer is in President Trump's text. And I quote, "A fight for our country."
Yeah.
I know why
He
he's
really
running
is.
for president again. Why else would he put himself through everything he's dealt with just to get back here? We all know he doesn't need this. This guy's got a great life. He has a beautiful family, and he has achieved everything that you could possibly achieve in life. I know President Trump is literally putting his life on the line for something bigger than himself, and he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I
he
know
does.
he wants what's best for the American people, all American people. I know he's running for president to save our American dream. I'm living the American dream, and I know the American dream is very real. Whether you were born in this country or came here from someplace else, this is the last real land of opportunity.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
President Reagan once said, government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives.
Yeah.
And if you're buried in government red tape, how will you ever start your own business? If you're struggling to pay your bills, how can you ever afford to start a family? And if you don't feel safe in your own town, why would you ever buy a house? I know that President Trump is fighting to save the American dream, and that's what's at stake in this election. We are choosing who we want to lead us in this fight. I know President Trump is a proven leader, a fearless leader, and this country was in a much better place when he was in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
In my mind, the choice is clear. But this election, we all get to choose. I know I'm going to choose strength and security. I know I'm going to choose opportunity and prosperity. I know I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American badass.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling you what choice to make, and I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you what I know. I know America needs a strong leader, and the world needs a strong America. I know Donald J. Trump is the best choice for President of the United States. My fellow Americans, it is my honor to introduce the 45th
Here
and
he
soon
comes.
to be 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Here he comes.
Here he comes. There he is. Okay.
Okay.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my
That's
life.
Lee Greenwood, right?
Yep.
And I had to start again.
God bless the
Just
USA.
my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today.
He's been around a while, too.
Because our flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it. God bless the USA.
Nobody wants to hear me sing.
I'm not gonna sing. Nobody wants to hear me sing. Believe me. I've been told I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee.
I like to sing. I'm just atrocious.
Of Texas, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit to Houston.
There he is. There's the man himself.
To LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up
So
next to you and defend her still today.
the Democrats are crying about the size of the bandage on his ear, saying, "Oh, you don't need a bandage that big."
Really?
Oh, there's tons of stuff. Like, it's ridiculous. They even go so far as to say that Trump staged the entire thing.
I've heard that.
Yeah, because that's something smart that you do, is arrange for yourself to be shot. Like,
doesn't make sense.
Here's the thing, right? Had you just been shot, like, in the vest, okay, I could potentially see that as a maybe trying to set up a badass photo op.
But he took it to the ear.
Yeah, that was like, if he had not moved his head, he'd be dead. And Biden asked him on the phone call, well, why'd you move your head? Or what caused you to move your head? Or, basically, why didn't you let us kill you?
And got to have context.
Well,
we don't know if he meant by asking curiously or...
I don't know. It's still a shitty thing to say.
Kind of is, yeah.
I'll tell you the context. A sniper bullet almost took his head off. That's the context.
True.
I'll be back. I like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Wow. And thank you, Dana. Thank you, Kid Rock, sometimes referred to as Bob.
What?
And thank you, Lee, right from the beginning. Thank you very much. What a talent. What a beautiful, beautiful song.
Who calls Kid Rock Bob?
What if
That's
Friends,
gotta look that up.
delegates,
Hold on.
fellow citizens, I stand before you this evening with a message of confidence, strength, and hope. 4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Together, we will launch a new era of safety, prosperity, and freedom for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. The discord and division in our society must be healed. We must heal it quickly. As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States.
It's official.
Now he's the official candidate. Not that there was any doubt.
No, but it's always, I
Nonetheless.
like to watch that moment.
But I do hear he completely changed his speech, so I'm
Oh, yeah.
interested to see what he's going to say.
Kid Rock's first name is Robert. I think that's why he called
That's
Bob.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Robert Rock. Bob Rock. Yeah. Bob Rock.
Thank you very much. And we will do it right. Going to do it right. Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing, and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage, and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage.
Most of them. Except for the DEI, who just...
These are great people at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that. The amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place on that terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede.
Yeah.
But not in this case. It's
No.
very unusual.
Everyone did the right thing. Didn't quit, check on their fellow citizens.
This massive crowd
And
of
their family.
tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely, but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was a sniper.
Yep.
And then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding, many lives were saved.
Yeah.
But that isn't the reason that they didn't move. The reason is that they knew I was in very serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually, most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that. I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but they just...
So we learned something.
This beautiful crowd, they didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me. And you can see that love written all over their faces. Incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. Yeah. Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead. And there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. But I could see it. And I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight."
Yep.
Iconic moment.
Very iconic, man. That's a historical photo right there.
Once my clenched fist went up, and it was high into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd I have ever heard before. Never heard anything like it. For the rest of my life, I will be grateful for the love shown by that giant audience of patriots that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania. Tragically, the shooter claimed the life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey, comparator, unbelievable person, everybody tells me. Unbelievable. And seriously wounded. 2 other great warriors.
Yeah.
Spoke to them today. David Dutch and James Copenhaver. 2 great people. I also spoke to all 3 families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious Trumpsters, I want to tell you. They were serious Trumpsters and still are. But Corey, unfortunately, we have to use the past tense. He was incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Was accompanied by his
Protected his family.
wife, Helen, incredible woman. I spoke to her today, devastated. And 2 precious daughters. He lost his life selflessly acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was.
That's how men are supposed to act.
Where's he going?
Yeah, where is he? Oh, okay. What is this?
Huh?
I didn't even see that. That is uniform up there.
Yeah.
I want to thank the fire department and the family for sending his helmet, his outfit, and it was just something, and they're going to do something very special when they get it. But we did something which cannot match what happened, not even close. But I am very proud to say that over the past few days, we've raised $6.3 million.
Wow, on the GoFundMe.
For the families of David, James, and Corey, including from a friend of mine, just called up. He sent me a check right here. I just got it. $1 million. From Dan Newland. Thank you, Dan.
Wish I had friends that could write a check for $1 million.
Yeah.
And again, when speaking to the family, I told them, I said, well, I'm going to be sending you a lot of money, but it can't compensate. They all said the same thing. You're right, sir. We appreciate so much what you're doing, but nothing can take the place in the case of Corey and the other 2. By the way, they were very, very seriously injured, but now they're doing very well. They're going to be okay.
Oh, that's good.
That is good.
They're going to be doing very well. The Warriors. So now I ask that we observe a moment of silence in honor of our friend Corey. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for others. This is the spirit that forged America in her darkest hours. And this is the love that will lead America back to the summit of human achievement and greatness. This is what we need. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than ever. I am more determined than ever, and so are you. So is everybody in this room.
Yes, I agree with that. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our resolve is unbroken and our purpose is unchanged to deliver a government that serves the American people better than ever before. Nothing will stop me in this mission because our vision is righteous and our cause is pure. No matter what obstacle comes our way, we will not break, we will not bend, we will not back down, and I will never stop fighting for you, your family, and our magnificent country. Never. And everything I have to give with all of the energy and fight in my heart and soul, I pledge to our nation tonight. Thank you very much. I pledge that to our nation. We're going to turn our nation around, and we're going to do it very quickly. Thank you. This election should be about the issues facing our country and how to make America successful, safe, free, and great again. In an age when our politics too often divide us, now is the time to remember that we are all fellow citizens. We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we must not criminalize dissent or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before. In that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's their rhetoric that did this.
Especially
I believe
since
that.
that is not true. In fact, I am the one saving democracy for the people of our country. And very big news, as you probably just read, on Monday, a major ruling was handed down from a highly respected federal judge in Florida, Eileen Cannon, finding that the prosecutor and the fake documents case against me were totally unconstitutional, and the entire case was thrown out of court. With all of that publicity
We even
thrown
discussed
out
it
of
on
court.
this show.
If Democrats want to unify our country, they should drop these partisan witch hunts, which I have been going through for approximately 8 years. And they should do that without delay and allow an election to proceed that is worthy of our people. We're going to win it
I wish they
anyway,
would, but I don't
but worthy of
have
our
much
people.
hope for that.
Right.
On this journey, I am deeply honored to be joined by my amazing wife, Melania.
So the press likes to make a big deal about how they're not affectionate in public,
Yeah.
right? She's from Eastern Europe, dude.
Yeah.
Eastern European culture, they don't make out in public. They don't like kiss in public. It's a very conservative.
And Melania, thank you
culture.
very much. You also did something really beautiful, a letter to America calling for national unity, and it really
letter
took
was
the Republican
yeah.
Party by surprise. I will
Yeah.
tell you, it was beautiful.
Yeah, that letter was amazing.
And she can show Donald Trump's soft side
Yeah,
too.
it,
I like
it
that.
really humanized them.
Uh-huh.
In fact, some very serious people said that we should take that letter and put it as part of the Republican platform. That would be an honor, wouldn't it? Right, Mr. Congressman? But it captivated so many. So I also want to thank my entire family for being here. Don, Kimberly, Ivanka and Jared, Eric and Lara, Tiffany and Michael, Baron. We love our Baron.
Baron. Baron's going to be something.
And of
Oh,
course,
Ivanka's even there.
my 10 wonderful grandchildren. You saw a few of them up there on my lap before.
We saw one of them last night too.
And how good was Dana? Was Dana good? I mean, was he good? He was on probably the only vacation he's had in about maybe ever, because he works, but about 10 years with his wife, very far away. I won't tell you where, but very, very far away. Beautiful place. And my people called and he said, yeah, I won't be able to do it. This is many, many years. I promised my wife I can't do it. And they came in, they said, Dana won't be able to do it because he was my first, second, and third choice. I said, well, that's too bad, but I understand he's away and it's good. It's good for him. And that was it. About 30 minutes later, she came back in, sir, Dana just called. He's going to do it. And his wife, she said, you can't turn him down. You just can't do it. You have to go.
Can't
That's
turn
a good
down Trump.
wife.
It is a good wife. That is a very good wife. I'm not sure mine would have let me go. No, my wife's amazing.
So he got on a plane. He got here a little while
Hi, Liz,
ago.
if you're
Now
watching.
He's going to get on the plane in a little while. He's going to go back home to his wife. But they're great, and I just want to thank her and him and their whole family because that's not easy. And Kid Rock, same thing. Called, he said, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part because, Kid does his great song, big, big monster song. I had no idea. He became a friend of mine over the last 10 years. And he's amazing. Everyone loves him. I didn't even know how big he was. He has rallies, 35, 40,000 people he gets every time he goes out.
Yeah.
I think he's making so much money, he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. You want to know?
I'll give you some ideas, kid. Believe me.
And then we have my
Michigan City
other
could use your
friend, and
help,
I've known him so long, and
specifically
we
me
took
and
that
him.
song, and it was a big success, but we made that. I saw a chart of great songs to America. That was number one on the chart recently, number one. So that's Lee Greenwood, a very special, beautiful person. He's a beautiful man. But they all wanted to be here. They called. And how about the Hulkster? How good was he? Is he? Where is he?
The Hulkster.
There he is.
There he is.
Boy, oh boy. They may call that entertainment. I know about entertainment, but when he used to lift a 350-pound man over his shoulders and then bench press him 2 rows into the audience, I said, maybe entertainment, but he is one strong son of a gun. I watched it many times. There aren't a lot of entertainers that can do that, right?
That's true.
You were fantastic. Thank you very much. Followed by Eric. What was that all about? Boy, that was good. I didn't want to really come up here. But he was so great, and he's such a good young man. He went through a lot of trouble, and Don last night was incredible. They went through so much trouble. They got subpoenaed more than any people probably in the history of the United States. Every week they get another subpoena.
Yeah.
From the Democrats, crazy Nancy Pelosi, the whole thing, just boom, boom, boom. They've got to stop that because they're destroying our country. We have to work on making America great again, not on beating people. And we won. We beat them in all. We beat them on the impeachments. We beat them on indictments. We beat them. But the time that you have to spend, if they would devote that genius to helping our country, we'd have a much stronger and better country.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Good point, Mr. Trump.
And Jason, the biggest star in country music. Jason, thank you for being here. Jason, thank you very much.
Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean, he's good.
Yeah.
I like his wife even better, by the way. She's here. Thank you, Jason.
Who's he married to?
But I'm
Not
thrilled
sure.
to have a new friend and partner fighting by my side. The next Vice President of the United States, the current Senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, and his incredible wife, Usha.
Yeah, we're gonna do a dive on who he is.
Okay.
I think it'll be interesting. The only place I can watch that movie is Netflix, and I do not want to
He's
give.
going to
Netflix
be a
any
great Vice President. He's going to be great. Be with this country and with this movement, greatest movement in the history of our country. Make America great again. When they criticize it, they say, we're going to try and stop MAGA. I said, MAGA is making America great again. What are you going to stop? There's nothing to stop.
Right.
Then they say, oh, that's right. It's very tough to fight it. And all of the people that did try and fight it have failed. But he's going to be with us for a long time. And it was an honor to select him. Great student at Yale. His wife was a great student at Yale. They met at Yale. These are two smart people. So, JD, you're going to be doing this for a long time. Enjoy the ride. And a very special thank you to the extraordinary people of Milwaukee and the great state of. Oh, there they are. There they are. You are so easy to spot. And Green Bay's going to have a good team this year, right? They're going to have a good team.
With cheese
Let's hope
heads.
not.
They're going to have a
Ooh,
good
Green
There was
Bay.
a time when I had no idea
Most
what
of
that
the
was
audience
about.
doesn't like
Oh,
it,
no.
but it's true. You're going to have a very good team this year.
Boo,
Yeah.
Green Bay.
And by the way, Wisconsin, we are spending over $250 million here, creating jobs and other economic development all over the place. So I hope you will remember this in November and give us your vote. I am trying to buy your vote. I'll be honest about that.
That's right. What's it going to cost?
And I promise we will make Wisconsin great again. We're going to make it.
Muga.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. Thank you very much.
State that
Thank
he
you.
needs.
I'm here tonight
be
to lay out a
close.
vision for the whole nation, to every citizen, whether you're a young or old man or woman, Democrat, Republican, or independent, black or white, Asian or Hispanic. I extend to you a hand of loyalty and of friendship. Together, we will lead America to new heights of greatness like the world has never seen before. We were right there in the first term. We got hit with COVID. We did a great job. Nobody knew what it was, but nobody's ever seen an economy pre-COVID. And then we handed over a stock market that was substantially higher than just prior to COVID. Coming in, did a great job. Never got credit for that. We got credit for the war and defeating ISIS and so many things, the great economy, the biggest tax cuts ever, the biggest regulation cuts ever, the creation of Space Force, the rebuilding of our military. We did so much. We did so much. Right to try is a big deal.
It is
We
a
got
big
right
deal.
to
It is.
try. They were trying to get that for 52 years.
And they used the
Somebody
blueprint
is
from
terminally
Indiana
ill.
for that.
and hopefully there's nobody in this audience, but it
Got
does
the
happen
idea
a
from the
lot.
state of
They're
Indiana.
terminally ill and they can't use our
Right
new
to try.
space age
Wow.
drugs and other things that we are way ahead. We have the greatest doctors in the world, the greatest laboratories in the world, and you can't do it. They've been trying to get that approved for 52 years. Wasn't that easy? The insurance companies didn't want to do it. They didn't want the risk. The labs didn't want to do it because if it didn't work, people are pretty far down the line toward death. They didn't want to do it. The doctors didn't want to have it on their records. So I got everybody into an office. 52 years they tried. Sounds simple, but it's not. And I got them to agree that somebody that needs it will, instead of going to Asia, Europe, or someplace, or if you have no money going home and dying, just die. We got them to sign an agreement, agree to it, where they're not going to sue anybody. They're going to get all of this stuff. They're going to get it really fast. And what's happened is we're saving thousands and thousands of lives. It's incredible. Right to try.
It has been
great feeling.
Extremely successful.
Under our leadership, the United States will be respected again. No nation will question our power. No enemy will doubt our might. Our borders will be totally secure. Our economy will soar. We will return law and order to our streets, patriotism to our schools, and importantly, we will restore peace, stability, and harmony all throughout the world. But to achieve this future, we must first rescue our nation from failed and even incompetent leadership. We have totally incompetent leadership. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. Under the current administration, we are indeed a nation in decline. We have an inflation crisis that is making life unaffordable, ravaging the incomes of working and low-income families, and crushing, just simply crushing our people like never before. They've never seen anything like it. We also have an illegal immigration crisis, and it's taking place right now as we sit here in this beautiful arena. It's a massive invasion at our southern border that has spread misery, crime, poverty, disease, and destruction to communities all across our land. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Then there's an international crisis, the likes of which the world has seldom been part of. Nobody can believe what's happening. War is now raging in Europe and the Middle East. A growing specter of conflict hangs over Taiwan, Korea, the Philippines, and all of Asia. And our planet is teetering on the edge of World War III. And this will be a war like no other war because of weaponry. The weapons are no longer army tanks going back and forth shooting at each other. These weapons are obliteration. It's time for a change. This administration can't come close to solving the problems. We're dealing with very tough, very fierce people. They're fierce people. And we don't have fierce people. We have people that are a lot less than fierce, except when it comes to cheating on elections and a couple of other things. Then they're fierce. Then they're fierce. So tonight, I make this pledge to the great people of America. I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy. We will drill, baby, drill.
A hell of a promise to fix the inflation problem right away. Yeah. I'm all for the energy independence, drill, baby, drill. I'm all for that. But inflation's a little bit harder to tackle right off the bat.
Trump exaggerates a little bit sometimes.
I mean, he's a businessman.
Can you
I mean, I
believe
think
what
he
they're
can
doing?
solve it, but it's going to take time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But by doing that, we will lead a large-scale decline in prices. Prices will start to come down. Energy raised it. They took our energy policies and destroyed them. Then they immediately went back to them, but by that time, so much was lost. But we will do it at levels that nobody's ever seen before, and we'll end lots of different things. We'll start paying off debt and start lowering taxes even further. We gave you the largest tax cut. We'll do it more. You know, people don't realize I brought taxes way down, way down, and yet we took in more revenues the following year than we did when the tax rate was much higher. Most people said, how did you do that? Because it was incentive. Everybody was coming to the country. They were bringing back billions and billions of dollars into our country. The companies made it impossible to bring it back. The tax rate was too high, and the legal complications were far too great. I changed both of them.
Yeah.
And hundreds of billions of dollars by Apple and so many other companies were brought back into our nation. And we had an economy the likes of which no nation had ever seen. China, we were beating them at levels that were incredible. And they know it. They know it.
Yeah.
We'll do it again, but we'll do it even better. I will end the illegal immigration crisis by closing our border and finishing the wall, most of which I've already built.
I don't know about that. I think there's a lot of wall left in there.
Yeah. Again, Trump to dad rating.
On the wall, we were dealing with a very difficult Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, that's okay. We won't go to Congress. I call it an invasion. We gave our military almost $800 billion. I said, I'm going to take a little of that money because this is an invasion. And we built, most of the wall is already built.
Moving money
And we
around.
built
Democrats do it, so there's no reason why Trump can't do it.
What's better than that? We have to stop the invasion into our country that's killing hundreds of thousands of people a year.
It's a national security.
We're not going to let that happen.
Period.
Biden could end this crisis.
I will
easily
end
if he
every
wanted
single
to.
international crisis that the current administration has created, including the horrible war with Russia and Ukraine, which would have never happened if I was president.
I agree
and
with
the
that.
war caused by the attack on Israel, which would have never happened if I was
agree with that.
president. Iran was broke. Iran had no money. Now Iran has $250 billion. They made it all over the last 2.5 years. They were broke. I watched the other day on a show called Deface the Nation. Has anyone seen it? And they had a congressman who was a Democrat say, well, whether you like him or not, Iran was broke dealing with Trump. I told China and other countries, if you buy from Iran, we will not let you do any business in this country, and we will put tariffs on every product you do send in of 100% or more. And they said to me, well, I think that's about it. They weren't going to buy any.
Yeah.
They were ready to make a deal.
And they know
Iran was gonna
Trump's
make a deal
serious.
with us. And then we had that horrible, horrible result that we'll never let happen again. The election result, we're never going to let that happen again. They used COVID to cheat. We're never going to let it happen again.
Okay.
And they took off all the sanctions and they did everything possible for Iran. And now Iran is very close to having a nuclear weapon, which would have never happened. This is a shame what this administration, the damage that this administration has done. And I say it often. If you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States, think of it, the 10 worst, added them up, they will not have done the damage that Biden has done. I'm only going to use the term once. Biden. I'm not going to use the name anymore, just one time. The damage that he's done to this country is unthinkable. It's unthinkable. Together we will restore vision, strength, competence, and we're going to have a thing called common sense making most of our decisions, actually. It's all common sense.
Good thing.
Such a wild concept.
Just a few short years ago under my presidency, we had the most secure border and best economy in the history of our country, in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had never done anything like it. We were beating every country, including China, by leaps and bounds. Nobody had seen anything like it. We had no inflation, soaring incomes were going. Nobody can believe it. You can't believe what happened 4 years ago is happening now in reverse. And the world was at peace. Inflation has been a killer for our country. No matter what you make it, it doesn't matter because inflation is eating you alive. People that were putting away money, they were making great wages, the highest they've ever made, but they were putting away a lot of money. Now they are just being destroyed. They're not putting away anything. They're barely living. They're going into savings accounts. They're taking out their money to live because of inflation. Inflation, remember, It's called a country buster. You can go back to Germany from 100 years ago. You can go back to any country that suffered great inflation. We've suffered the worst inflation we've ever had. But go back and see what's happened to those countries. We've had the worst inflation we've ever had under this person. But in less than 4 years, our opponents have turned incredible success into unparalleled tragedy and failure. It's been a tremendous failure. Today, our cities are flooded with illegal aliens. Americans are being squeezed out of the labor force and their jobs are taken. By the way, you know who's taking the jobs that are created? 107% of those jobs are taken by illegal aliens. And you know who's being hurt the most by millions of people pouring into our country? The black population and the Hispanic population, because they're taking the jobs from our black population, our Hispanic population, and they're also taking them from unions. The unions are suffering because of it.
Yeah, they are.
Thank you. Thank you. I like you too. Thank you very much. Inflation has wiped out the life savings of our citizens and forced the middle class into a state of depression and despair. That's what it is. It's despair and depression. We cannot and will not let this continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. We're going to be a great nation again.
There's no way we could survive another 4 years.
Yeah.
Thank
Or
you.
Kamala.
With proper leadership, every disaster we are now enduring will be fixed, and it will be fixed very, very quickly. So tonight, whether you've supported me in the past or not, I hope you will support me in the future, because I will bring back the American dream. That's what we're going to do. You don't even hear about the American dream anymore.
Right? There's a reason for that.
With great humility, I am asking you to be excited about the future of our country. Be excited. Be excited. And by the way, the news reports, look at all of those big networks. Look at them. They're all here. But every one of them has said this could be the most organized, best run, and most enthusiastic convention of either party that they've ever seen. Every single one. And it's true. It's true. And there's love in the room. There's great love in the room. So I better finish strong. Otherwise, we'll blow it. And we can't let that happen. Now, this was great. All of the great people that spoke, and everybody hit a home run. I mean, there's not one that I can think of where I said, oh, gee, that wasn't great. Every single person. I refuse to be the only one. Don't do that to me. They're already getting ready. See, I gave him an idea. Now, this was a great convention. This was, I think we're actually going to go home and miss it. You know, usually with first of all, look at these crowds. You'd never have this at a convention. Look at these crowds.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are there as guests. Like,
Yeah.
a huge, way more than I've ever seen.
Love. It's about love. This week, the entire Republican Party has formally adopted an agenda for America's renewal, and you saw that agenda. And it's very short compared to the long, boring, meaningless agendas of the past, including the Democrats. They write these things that are hundreds of pages long, and they never read them after they're done.
Mm-hmm.
In their case, fortunately, they don't read them because they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's a series of bold promises that we will swiftly implement when you give us a Republican House. And Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. We have our great Speaker of the House with us tonight, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Where's Johnson?
A Republican Senate. We have many senators here. And send me back to our beautiful White House just a few short months from now. We're talking about just months. It can't come fast enough. We have to get it done. First, we must get economic relief to our citizens. Starting on day one, we will drive down prices and make America affordable again. We have to make it affordable. It's not affordable. People can't live like this. Under this administration, our current administration, groceries are up 57%, gasoline is up 60 and 70%, mortgage rates have quadrupled. And the fact is, it doesn't matter what they are because you can't get the money anyway.
Right.
You can't buy houses. Young people
Yeah.
can't get any financing to buy a house. The total household costs have increased an average of $28,000 per family under this administration. Republicans have a plan to bring down prices and bring them down very, very rapidly. By slashing energy costs, we will in turn reduce the cost of transportation, manufacturing, and all household goods. So
Okay.
much starts with energy.
I agree with that.
And remember, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country by far. We are a nation that has the opportunity to make an absolute fortune with its energy. We have it, and China doesn't.
Agreed.
Under the Trump administration, just 3.5 years ago, we were energy independent. But
We
soon
were.
we will actually be better than that. We will be energy dominant and supply not only ourselves, but we will supply the rest of the world with numbers that nobody has ever seen, and we will reduce our debt $36 trillion. We
I
will
don't know if
start
there's enough
reducing
for
that, and we will also
completely
reduce your
get rid of
taxes
it.
still further.
He said reduce.
Next.
He didn't
Okay.
say eliminate.
And by the way, they want to
He
raise
said
your
eliminate
taxes
before.
4 times. Think of it.
Yeah.
And all my life, I grew up watching politicians. I always loved politics. I guess I was on the other side. I'd watch and they were always talking about, we will give you a tax cut. We will give you a tax cut. My whole life, I was watching, I will give you a tax cut, right, Mr. Congressman? That's all they talked about. This is the only administration that said, we're going to raise your taxes by 4 times what you're paying now, and people are supposed to vote for them?
Right.
I've never heard it. You're paying too much. We're going to reduce your taxes still further. We gave you the biggest one, as I said. We're going to give you more, and it's going to lead to tremendous growth. We want growth in our country. That's what's going to pay off
Yeah.
our debt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. All right. Okay.
And next, we will end the ridiculous and actually incredible waste of taxpayer dollars that is fueling the inflation crisis. They spent trillions of dollars on things having to do with the Green New Scam. It's a scam. And that's caused tremendous inflationary pressures in addition to the cost of energy.
And
And
baseline
all of the
budgeting.
trillions of dollars that are sitting there, not yet spent, we will redirect that money for important projects like roads, bridges, dams, and we will not allow it to be spent on meaningless green new scam ideas.
Yeah.
And I will end the electric vehicle mandate on day one.
Good.
Thereby saving the U.S. auto industry from complete obliteration, which is happening right now,
It
and
is
saving
happening.
U.S. customers thousands and thousands of dollars per car. And right now, as we speak, large factories just started are being built across the border in Mexico. So with all the other things happening on our border, and they're being built by China to make cars and to sell them into our country.
Yeah.
No tax, no anything. The United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed for allowing this to happen. And the leader of the United Auto Workers should be fired immediately. And every single auto worker, union and non-union, should be voting for Donald Trump because we're going to bring back car manufacturing and we're going to bring it back fast.
Okay.
They're building some of the largest auto plants anywhere in the world. Think of it, in the world. We're going to bring it back. We're going to make them. We don't mind that happening, but those plants are going to be built in the United States, and our people are going to man those plants.
That's right. You start making stuff here.
And if they don't agree with us, we'll put a tariff of approximately 100 to 200% on each car, and they will be unsellable in the United States.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
We have long been taken advantage of by other countries.
Yes, we have.
And think of it, oftentimes these other countries are considered so-called allies. They've taken advantage of us for years. We lose jobs, we lose revenue, and they gain everything and wipe out our businesses, wipe out our people. I stopped it for 4 years. I stopped it, and we're really ready to make changes like nobody had seen before. And remember, USMCA, I got rid of NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with USMCA, which is, they say, the best trade deal ever made. Actually, probably the best trade deal was the deal I made with China, where they buy $50 billion worth of our product. They were buying nothing. They buy $50 billion worth. They had to. But I don't even talk about it because of COVID. I don't even mention it, frankly, because of what happened with the China virus.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
China. Come on, say China.
We will not let countries come in, take our jobs, and plunder our nation. They come and do that. They plunder our nation. The way they will sell their product in America is to build it in America. Very simple. Build it in America and only in America.
Do you think they're going to chant USA at the Democrat convention?
If I had to guess,
And this
probably
very
not.
simple formula, and Congress has to go along with us.
You never
and
know, they
will.
might.
This very simple formula will create massive numbers of jobs. We will take over the auto industry again, and many,
will see.
hundreds of thousands of jobs. We lost so many jobs over the years. If you go back 20, 25 years, they've stolen, going to China and Mexico, about 68% of our auto industry manufacturing jobs. We're going to get them all back. We're going to get them all back, every one of
But
them.
it's going to be a virtual convention, probably. The Democrats.
At the
They're
center
talking
of our
about virtual.
plan for economic
Cowards.
relief are massive tax cuts for workers that include something else that's turned out to be very popular, actually. Here it's very popular in this building and all those hotels that I saw that are so nice. I'm staying in a nice one. It's called no tax on tips. No tax on tips. No tax on tips.
Yeah. Be down for that. That's why I tip cash usually, or try to.
Federal tax.
Yeah,
Let's
no.
remember that.
They're supposed to report on.
I got that by having dinner recently in Nevada, where we're leading by about 14 points.
Nice.
Hello.
Or 6.
I'll see you there very soon, everybody. And we're having dinner at a beautiful restaurant in the Trump building on the Strip, and it's a great building, and the waitress comes over. How's everything going? Really nice person. How's everything? Oh, sir, it's so tough. The government's after me all the time on tips, tips, tips. I said, well, they give you cash. Would they be able to find him? She said, actually, and I didn't know this. She said, very little cash is given. It's all put right on the check.
Nowadays.
And they come in and they take so much of our money. It's just ridiculous. And they don't believe anything we say. And they've just hired, as you know, 88,000 agents to go after them even more.
Yeah. Yep.
And I said, this shows the level of my, most people go out, they hire consultants, they pay them millions of dollars. But I said to her, let me just ask you a question. Would you be happy if you had no tax on tips? She said, what a great idea. I got my information from a very smart waitress. That's better than spending millions of dollars.
True.
That's right. There you
And
go.
everybody loves it. Waitresses and caddies and drivers and everybody's a large group of people that are being really hurt badly. They make money, let them keep their money.
Right.
I'm going to protect Social Security and Medicare. Democrats are going to destroy Social Security and Medicare because all of these people, by the millions they're coming in, they're going to be on Social Security and Medicare and other things, and you're not able to afford it. They are destroying your Social Security and your Medicare Under my plan, incomes will skyrocket, inflation will vanish completely, jobs will come roaring back, and the middle class will prosper like never, ever before, and we're going to do it very rapidly.
Fingers crossed, man. It all sounds great.
But no hope
Trump's
or dream
still-
we have for America can succeed unless we stop the illegal immigrant invasion, the worst that's ever been seen anywhere in the world. There's never been an invasion like this anywhere. Third world countries would fight with sticks and stones not to let this happen.
Yeah.
The invasion at our southern border, we will stop it, and we will stop it quickly. You heard Tom Homan yesterday. Tom Homan, put him in charge and just sit back and watch.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I like that idea.
Brandon Judd, the Border Patrol, he's incredible. These guys, they really, their job is a lot easier if they don't have to do anything, but they want to. They're patriots. Brandon Judd, Border Patrol, ICE. ICE goes out. You have to see what ICE does with MS-13. You have these are probably the worst gang, and ICE goes in there. And I know a lot of people in these rows here, and they're very tough people, but they don't want to do this job. They'll go into a pack of MS-13 killers. They're the worst, probably the worst gangs in the world. We have thousands of them. I moved thousands and thousands out in my 4 years. We moved them out, and it was a pleasure. But ICE would go right into a pack of these killers, and you see fists flying, you see everything flying, and then they take them. They put them in a paddy wagon. They take them back, and they get them out of our country. And the other countries weren't accepting them back. And I called up, and I said, tell them that we're not giving them economic aid anymore. And the next day, I got calls from all of these countries that were terminated.
Yep.
Billions of dollars we spend on economic aid to countries that does us, frankly, no good. And the next day, I was called by everybody. I couldn't take all the calls. Sir, what's the problem? I said, you won't take your killers back that you sent in caravans into America. You won't take them back. Well, sir, if you'd like us to, we would give very serious consideration to doing that.
Yeah.
And within 24 hours, they were being taken back. For years and years, when I first came in, they said President Obama tried to get him to go back, and they wouldn't accept him. They'd put planes on the runway so you couldn't leave the plane. They'd close the road so you couldn't take the buses. They'd all have to turn back. As soon as I said no more economic aid of any kind to any country that does that, they called back and they said, sir, it would be our great honor to take MSC.
Yeah.
We love them very much.
Yeah, I've heard that story. I've heard that story.
Yeah. We love them very much, sir. We'll take them back. At the heart of the Republican platform is our pledge to end this border nightmare and fully restore the sacred and sovereign borders of the United States of America. And we're going to do that on day one. That means two things on day one, right? Drill, baby, drill, and close our borders.
Yep. Down to both of those.
Yep. Secure our border. I don't know about
And by the way,
closing.
and I think everybody as a Republican, as a patriot in this room, most Democrats, we want people to come into our country, but they have to come into our country legally.
Yes.
Legally.
Legally.
Less than 4 years ago, I handed this administration the strongest border in American history. But you can see on the chart that saved my life. That was the chart that saved my life. I said, look it, I'm so proud of it. I think it's one of the greatest. It was done by the Border Patrol. One of the greatest charts I've ever seen.
It'd
It
be
showed
my favorite
everything
chart in
just
the
like
world
that.
after
You
that.
know the chart. Oh, there it is. That's pretty good. Wow.
Wow, it's everywhere.
Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it.
Well, yeah.
True.
But without that chart, I would not be here today.
Thank God you're okay.
Never got to look at it. I said, you got to see this chart. I was so proud of it. And by the time I got to there, I never got to see it that day. But I'm seeing it now, and I was very proud. If you look at the arrow on the bottom, that's the lowest level, the one on the bottom, heavy red arrow. That's the lowest level of illegal immigrants ever to come into our country in recorded history, right there. Right there. Yep. And that was my last week in office. And then you see what happened after I left. Look at the rest. And if you go out a little bit further, it's getting to be a little bit old, but I love it anyway, right? Mm-hmm. But you can go much higher with those numbers. Look what happened right after that. The invasion began. We had the opposite. We stopped the invasion, but the invasion that we stopped was peanuts by comparison to what happened after I left. Look at what happened after I left. They took over our country.
Yeah.
We ended all catch and release. We shut down asylum fraud. We stopped human trafficking and forged historic agreements to keep illegal aliens on foreign soil. We want them to stay on their soil. Under the Trump administration, if you came in illegally, you were apprehended immediately and you were deported. You went right back. Mm-hmm. The current administration terminated every single one of those great Trump policies that I put in place to seal the border. I wanted a sealed border. Again, come in, but come in legally. You know how unfair it is? So many people, hundreds of thousands of people, have been working for years to come into our country. And now they see these people pour into our country at levels that are unprecedented. It's so unfair. And we're not going to do it. We're not going to stand for it. They suspended wall construction, ended remain in Mexico. We had a policy, remain in Mexico. You think that was easy to get from the Mexican government? But I said, you must give it to us. If you don't give it to us, there will be repercussions. And they gave it to us, but not easy. Canceled our Safe Third agreements. Demolished Title 42, implemented nationwide catch and release. That's catch and release where we catch them and release them into our country. We catch them and release them into Mexico. There's a slight difference. And took 93, this is the previous administration, 93 executive actions to throw open our border to the world. The entire world is pouring into our country because of this very foolish administration. The greatest invasion in history is taking place right here in our country. They are coming in from every corner of the earth, not just from South America, but from Africa, Asia, the Middle East. They're coming from everywhere. They're coming at levels that we've never seen before. It is an invasion indeed, and this administration does absolutely nothing to stop them. They're coming from prisons. They're coming from jails. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. The press is always on me because I say this. Has anyone seen Silence of the Lambs? Yeah. The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He'd love to have you for dinner.
Well,
that's
then.
insane asylums. They're emptying out their insane asylums.
Yep.
And terrorists are coming in at numbers that we've never seen before. Bad things are going to happen. Meanwhile, our crime rate is going up while crime statistics all over the world are going down because they're taking their criminals and they're putting them into our country. A certain country, and I happen to like the president of that country very much, but he's been getting great publicity because he's a wonderful shepherd of the country. He says how well the country's doing because their crime rate is down. And he said he's training all of these rough people. They're rough. He's training them. And I've been reading about this for 2 years. I think, oh, that's wonderful. Let's take a look at it. But then I realized he's not training them. He's sending all of his criminals, his drug dealers, his people that are in jails, he's sending them all to the United States. And he's different in that he doesn't say that. He's trying to convince everybody what a wonderful job he does in running the country. Well, he doesn't do a wonderful job. And by the way, if I ran one of the countries, many countries from all over, I would be worse than any of them. I would have had the place totally emptied out already. But we become a dumping ground for the rest of the world, which is laughing at us. They think we're stupid. And they can't believe that they're getting away with what they're getting away with, but they're not going to be getting away with it for long. That's what I can tell you. In Venezuela, Caracas, high crime. Caracas, Venezuela. really a dangerous place, but not anymore. Because in Venezuela, crime is down 72%. In fact, if they would ever win this election, I hate to even say that, we will have our next Republican convention in Venezuela because it will be safe. Our cities will be so unsafe, we won't be able. We will not be able to have it there. In El Salvador, murders are down by 70%. Why are they down? Now, he would have you convinced that because he's trained murderers to be wonderful people. No. They're down because they're sending their murderers to the United States of America. This is going to be very bad. And bad things are going to happen, and you're seeing it happen all the time. That's why, to keep our families safe, the Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history of our country. Even larger than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower from many years ago. You know, he was a moderate, but he believed very strongly in borders. He had the largest deportation operation we've ever had. Just recently, I spoke to the grieving mother of Jocelyn Nungary, a wonderful woman, a precious 12-year-old girl from Houston who last month was tied up, assaulted, and strangled to death after walking to the convenience store just a block away from her house. Her body was dumped near the side of the road in a shallow creek, found by some onlookers who couldn't believe what they had witnessed. Charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder are 2 illegal aliens from Venezuela.
Go figure.
Who came across our border, were in custody, and were then released into the country by this horrible, horrible administration that we have right now. I also met recently with the heartbroken mother and sister of Rachel Morin. Rachel was a 37-year-old mom of 5 beautiful children who was brutally raped and murdered while out on a run. She wanted to keep herself in good shape. It was very important to her. She was murdered. The monster responsible first killed another woman in El Salvador before he was led into America by the White House. This White House let them in. He then attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion in Los Angeles before murdering Rachel in Maryland. Traveled all throughout the country, doing tremendous damage. Rachel's mother will never be the same. I spent time with her. She will never be the same. I've also met with the wonderful family of Laken Riley, the brilliant 22-year-old nursing student. She was so proud of being first in her class, who was out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia when she was assaulted, beaten, and horrifically killed. Yet another American life was stolen by a criminal alien set free by this administration. And these were
who shouldn't have even
incredible people we're talking about. These were incredible people who died. Tonight, America, this is my vow. I will not let these killers and criminals into our country. I will keep our sons and daughters safe. As we bring security to our streets, we will help bring stability to the world. I was the first president in modern times to start no new wars. You know, we were the toughest. We were the most respected.
Yep, that's true.
And you saw this. Hungry, strong country run by a very powerful, tough leader. Tough guy. Press doesn't like him because he's tough. And he came out recently. They were asking him at an interview, the whole world is exploding. What's happening? What's going on? Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, very tough man. He said, I don't want people coming into my country and blowing up our shopping centers and killing people.
Yeah, imagine that.
But they said to him, tell us what's going wrong, what's happening, what is it? He said, there's only one way you're going to solve it. You got to bring President Trump back to the United States because he kept everybody at bay.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. He used a word I wouldn't use because I can't use that word. Because you'd say it was braggadocious. The press would say he was a braggart. I'm not a braggart. Mm-hmm. But Viktor Orban said it. He said Russia was afraid of him. China was afraid of him. Everybody was afraid of him. Nothing was going to happen. The whole world was at peace. And now the world is blowing up around us.
Yeah.
All of these things that you read about were not going to happen. Under President Bush, Russia invaded Georgia.
Yep.
Under President Obama, Russia took Crimea. Under the current administration, Russia is after all of Ukraine. Under President Trump, Russia took nothing.
True. Very true. Despite the press's claims he was going to start World War III.
Yep.
Constantly.
We defeated 100% of ISIS in Syria and Iraq. Something that was said to take 5 years, sir. It'll take 5 years, sir. We did it in a matter of a couple of months.
Yeah.
We have a great military. Our military is not woke. It's just some of the fools on top that are woke.
Okay.
Took out Bad Daddy.
I got along very well. North Korea, Kim Jong-un, I got along very well with him.
You did.
The press hated when I said that. How could you get along with him? Well, it's nice to get along with somebody who has a lot of nuclear weapons or otherwise, isn't it?
We don't want to be nuked.
See, in the old days, they'd say, that's a wonderful thing. Now they say, how could you possibly do that? But no, I got along with them, and we stopped the missile launches from North Korea. Now North Korea is acting up again, but when we get back, I get along with them. He'd like to see me back, too. I think he misses me, if you want to know the truth. Our opponents inherited a world at peace and turned it into a planet of war. We're in a planet of war. Look at that attack on Israel. Look at what's happening with Ukraine. The cities are just bombed out. How can people live like that where buildings, massive buildings, are falling to the ground? It began to unravel with the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, the worst humiliation in the history of our country. We have never had a humiliation like that. 13 heroic U.S. service members were tragically and needlessly killed. 45 others were horrifically wounded. Nobody ever talks about that.
That's true.
No arms, no legs, face explosions, horrifically wounded. And by the way, we have a man in this room who's running for the U.S. Senate from a great state, Nevada, named Sam Brown, who paid the ultimate price. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam.
I am not aware of his story.
Sam Brown.
Thank you.
We'll have to check into him.
He paid the biggest
Nevada.
price.
Nevada.
Probably
I've heard of
ever
him.
paid by anybody that is running for office, and I think he's going to do great. He's running against a person that is not good, not respected, a total lightweight. But Sam, I think, paid really, we were talking about it with some of the senators that are working so hard for Sam, but he paid the biggest price of any senator ever to run for the Senate. I don't think anybody's ever what he did. He was a real hero, a really great person. And he's running, and I hope that everybody gets out and votes for Sam Brown.
Sam Brown. What do you guys know about Sam Brown? Let us know in the comments, because I am not that familiar with
And
him.
we also left behind $85 billion worth of military equipment.
Yep.
Along with many American citizens were left behind.
Unreal, man. Absolutely.
Many American citizens.
What a cluster.
Emboldened by that disaster, Russia invaded Ukraine. They saw this group of people that were incompetent.
Yeah.
We took the soldiers out first. No, we're going to take the
You want to know
soldiers out second.
what he's talking
If they would have
about? I
followed my
found
plan.
it.
We had a great plan. But the plan only kicked in if they did everything perfectly, and they weren't doing things perfectly.
All right.
So we
He
said
served in Afghanistan
kick in.
and
You know,
sustained
18
burns
months
to 30%
in
of his
Afghanistan.
body due to
We
an
didn't have one, so
improvised
they were killing them left
explosive
and right,
device.
snipers. And
Hold on.
I spoke to the head of
not know
the
that.
Taliban. You've heard this story.
Oh, yeah.
Abdul, still there, still the head of the Taliban. The press got on me. Why would you speak to him? I said, because that's where the killing is. I
Yeah.
have to speak to somebody that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I told him, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. You got to stop. because during the Obama administration, many great people and soldiers, a lot of soldiers were being killed from long distance.
Yeah.
I said, if you keep doing that, you're going to be hit harder than anybody's ever been hit by a country before.
Tell him, Trump.
And he said, I understand, Your Excellency. He called me Your Excellency. I wonder if he calls the other guy Your Excellency. I doubt it.
Probably not.
The other guy gave him everything. I mean, what kind of a deal was that? He walked out, gave him everything. Do you know that right now Afghanistan is one of the largest sellers of weapons in the world? They're selling the brand new, beautiful weapons that we gave them.
That doesn't surprise
But
me.
think of it. He actually said to me, but why do you show me a picture of my home? I said, you'll have to ask your people or one of your wives. But he could figure it out. And for 18 months, we had not one attack on an American soldier by the Taliban.
True. That is
18.
absolutely true. Yeah. 18 months.
They did not want to cross Trump.
No.
And then we had that horrible day where soldiers were killed. I was not there because of a ridiculous election. But we had that horrible attack. And they also gave up Bagram, one of the biggest bases anywhere in the world, air bases anywhere in the world, the longest runways, most powerful, hardened, thickened runways. We gave it up. And I liked it, not because of Afghanistan. I liked it because of China. It's 1 hour away from where China makes their nuclear weapons. And you know who has it now? China has it now. We were keeping that.
Yep.
And now China is likewise circling Taiwan, and Russian warships and nuclear submarines are operating 60 miles off the coast in Cuba. Do you know that? No, the press refuses to write about it.
I heard
if
about
that
it.
were me running this country and we had nuclear submarines in Cuba, I will tell you that headlines every day would be, what's wrong with our president? You don't even hear this. You're not hearing about this. Russia has nuclear submarines and warships 60 miles away, Mr. Congressman, from Miami, by the way, happens to be here. Correct? In Cuba. And that would not be stood for if it were somebody else. They don't want to mention it, but now maybe they will. And the entire world, I tell you this, we want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office, or you will be paying a very big price.
That was
I
a message.
believe him too.
That was a message to Putin.
Oh yeah. Why Putin? He has hostages?
Oh yeah, the Wall Street Journal. He has one.
But you think he was talking about that, or you think he was talking about Hamas?
He could have been talking about Hamas
The
too.
years of war, weakness, and chaos will be over. I don't have wars. I had no wars other than ISIS, which I defeated, but that was a war that was started. We had no wars. I could stop wars with a telephone call.
That's true.
I could stop wars with just a telephone call.
He is an excellent negotiator.
If properly stated, it would never start. We will replenish our military and build an Iron Dome missile defense system to ensure that no enemy can strike our homeland.
Okay.
And this great Iron
Interesting
Dome will
idea.
be built entirely in the USA. We're going to build it
That's gonna be a
in the
huge
USA.
dome.
And
Or a
Wisconsin,
huge country.
just like I gave you that massive ship contract, and you're doing a very nice job, Governor, right? Thank you, Governor. And they're doing a great job. In fact, I had a little design change, and we gave them a tremendous for essentially what we used to call destroyers. These are now the most beautiful. They look like yachts. I said, we have to take the bow and we have to make it a little nicer and a little point at the top instead of a flat nose. And the people at the shipyard said, this guy sort of knows what he's doing. We have the most beautiful ships, right, Governor? And everybody's sitting over there.
Right. He had no
And it
idea
was a
what
big
he's-
contract that everybody wanted. I gave it to Wisconsin, but we're going to have a lot of that built right here in the state of Wisconsin and all other states. Israel has an Iron Dome. They have a missile defense system. 342 missiles were shot into Israel, and only one got through a little bit. It was badly wounded. It fell to the ground, but most of them are And Ronald Reagan wanted this many years ago, but we really didn't have the technology many years ago. Remember, they called it Starship, spaceship, anything to mock him. But he was a very good president. Very, very good.
DI.
Yep.
That's DI. I'm sorry. Strategic Defense Initiative.
But now we have unbelievable technology. And why should other countries have this and we don't? No, we're going to build an iron dome over our country, and we're going to be sure that nothing can come and harm our people. And again, from an economic development standpoint, we're going to make it all right here. No more sending it out to other countries in order to help. It's
Good.
America first.
Yes.
America first.
America.
We will unleash the power of American innovation. And as we do, we will soon be on the verge of finding the cures to cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and many other diseases. We're going to get to the bottom of it. You remember this gentleman that I don't want to mention other than one time I had to, because when you say the 10 worst, I had to do it. I didn't want anybody to be confused. But this man said, we're going to find a cure to cancer. Nothing happened. We're going to get to the cure for cancer and Alzheimer's and so many other things. We're so close to doing something great. But we need a leader that will let it be done. We will not have men playing in women's sports. That will end immediately.
Good.
Okay.
And we will restore and renovate our nation's once great cities, making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And that includes our nation's capital, which is a horrible killing field. So many things. They leave from Wisconsin. They go to look at the Washington Monument. They end up getting stabbed, killed, or shot. We will be very soon
Sotomayor
very
had a
proud of our
scare
capital.
with that.
Again, Washington, D.C.
Yeah, they tried to carjack the bodyguard.
America is on the cusp of a new golden age, but we will have the courage to seize it. We're going to take it. We're going to make it a current. We're going to bring this into a golden age like never seen before. Remember this, China wants to do it. Japan wants to do it. All of these countries want to do it. We have to produce massive amounts of energy if we're going to produce the new. If you look at some of the things that have been done and some of the things that we're going to do, but AI needs literally twice the electricity that's available now in our country. Can you imagine?
Oh, wow.
But instead, we're spending places where they recharge electric cars. They built 8 chargers at a certain location toward the Midwest. 8 chargers for $9 billion. Think of them as a tank for filling up your gas. Think of it. They spent $9 billion on 8 chargers, 3 of which didn't work. And if you were going to do this all over our country, this crazy electric mandate, if you're going to do this and by the way, I'm all for electric. They have their application. But if somebody wants to buy a gas-powered car, gasoline-powered car, or a hybrid, they're going to be able to do it. And we're going to make that change on day
Nothing wrong with
1.
choice.
Yep, that's right.
And competition.
I'm all for both.
Yeah.
So to conclude, just a few short days ago, my journey with you nearly ended. We know that. And yet, here we are tonight, all gathered together, talking about the future, promise, and a total renewal of a thing we love very much. It's called America. We live in a world of miracles. None of us knows God's plan or where life's adventure will take us.
That's true.
I want to thank Franklin Graham for being here tonight. He's an outstanding man. He wrote me a note recently. I have a lot of respect for him. Sir, I love your storytelling. I think it's great in front of these big rallies. But, sir, please do me one favor. It won't make any difference. Please don't use any foul language. I was a little embarrassed. I said, he said, it won't make any difference. Actually, it does. The story's not quite as good, but I've been very good. The story is not quite as good, to be honest. I've got to have a little talk with Franklin, but he was great. He's a great gentleman. His father was so incredible, Billy Graham. My father used to love taking me to see Billy Graham.
My grandmother.
My father would take me to see Billy Graham at Yankee Stadium. He had the biggest rallies you've ever seen. He was a good rally guy, too.
He was.
But he'd get up, and he was a fantastic guy. My father loved Billy Graham. But I love Franklin Graham. I think Franklin's been fantastic, and I'm working so hard to adhere to his note to me. I'm working hard on it, Franklin. But if the events of last Saturday make anything clear, it is that every single moment we have on earth is a gift from God.
Yep.
We have to make the most of every day for the people and for the country that we love. The attacker in Pennsylvania wanted to stop our movement, but the truth is the movement has never been about me. It has always been about you. It's your movement. It's the biggest movement in the history of our country by far. Can't be stopped. It can't be stopped. It has always been about the hardworking, patriotic citizens of America. For too long, our nation has settled for too little. We settled for too little. We've given everything to other nations, to other people. You have been told to lower your expectations and to accept less for your families. I am here tonight with the opposite message. Your expectations are not big enough. Not big enough.
All right.
It is time to start expecting and demanding the best leadership in the world, leadership that is bold, dynamic, relentless, and fearless. We can do that. We are Americans. Ambition is our heritage. Greatness is our birthright. But as long as our energies are spent fighting each other, our destiny will remain out of reach. And that's not acceptable. We must instead take that energy and use it to realize our country's true potential and write our own thrilling chapter of the American story. We can do it together. We will unite. We are going to come together, and success will bring us together. It is a story of love, sacrifice, and so many other things. And remember the word devotion. It's unmatched devotion. Our American ancestors crossed the Delaware, survived the icy winter at Valley Forge, and defeated a mighty empire to establish our cherished republic. They fought so hard, they lost so many. They pushed thousands and thousands of miles across a dangerous frontier, taming the wilderness to build a life and a magnificent home for their family. They packed their families into covered wagons, trekked across hazardous trails, scaled towering mountains, and braved rivers and rapids to stake their claim on the wide open, new, and very beautiful frontier. When our way of life was threatened, American patriots marched onto the battlefield, raced into enemy strongholds, and stared down death and stared down those enemies to keep alive the flame of freedom. At Yorktown, Gettysburg, and Midway, they joined the roll call of immortal heroes. So many heroes, so many great, great people. And we have to cherish those people. We can't forget those people. We have to cherish those people. And building monuments to those great people is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Right. Right.
They saved our country. No challenge was too much. No hardship was too great. No enemy was too fierce. Together, these patriots soldiered on and endured, and they prevailed because they had faith in each other, faith in their country, and above all, they had faith in their God. Just like our ancestors, we must now come together, rise above past differences. Any disagreements have to be put aside and go forward, united as one people, one nation, pledging allegiance to one great, beautiful, I think it's so beautiful, American flag. Tonight I ask for your partnership, for your support, and I am humbly asking for your vote. I want your vote. Going to make our country great again. Every day I will strive to honor the trust you have placed in me, and I will never, ever let you down. I promise that. I will never let you down. To all of the forgotten men and women who have been neglected, abandoned, and left behind, you will be forgotten no longer. We will press forward, and together we will win, win, win. Win, 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 win. Nothing will sway us, nothing will slow us, and no one will ever stop us. No matter what dangers come our way, no matter what obstacles lie in our path, we will keep striving toward our shared and glorious destiny, and we will not fail. We will not fail. Together, we will save this country, we will restore the republic, and we will usher in the rich and wonderful tomorrows that our people so truly deserve. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer, greater, and more united than ever before.
Interesting you mentioned fixing the republic.
And quite simply put, we will very quickly make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wisconsin. God bless you. God bless you, Wisconsin, and God bless the United States of America, our great country. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
JD Vance is probably going to come to the stage. Usually
the
vice president wins the presidential nominee.
Take a look. It's a lot of people, man.
That is a lot of people. Moana.
Yeah, Eastern Europeans in general don't really have public displays of affection. My wife's actually Eastern European of descent, right?
Okay.
And she's like really, really not.
Here comes JD.
Yeah, there's JD.
And Mrs. Vance.
Yeah, she doesn't like public affection either. Of course, my wife's weird, so. But not necessarily in a bad way. She's just beautiful. She's a treat.
Oh, wow. Here comes the balloons.
There's the balloons.
This is supposed to be the biggest drop of balloons in history.
Really?
Yeah. It was on, they were talking about it on Fox. I think they said 125,000
balloons. Good Lord. Look at that.
With everything's got to be the biggest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Trump, man. Of course. A lot of balloons.
That is a lot of. I feel sorry for maintenance.
Yeah, the people who have to pick those balloons up. I'm sorry for you. Truly.
Moana's supposed to hit the campaign trail, so it'll be.
What's that?
Melania is supposed to hit the campaign trail.
Oh,
too.
she's going with Trump?
Yeah, and I think she's going solo. I'm not sure if she's still. That was the plan a couple months ago. Yeah.
They're
So-
still dropping. Down just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, we've I mean, I've seen this process before.
Okay.
I went to the Indiana Republican convention and we did lieutenant governor and attorney general. This is obviously far, far bigger. It's the national. I just state. But it's a similar setup.
Okay.
The way that they have you see the various states like Guam and Wisconsin.
They do counties, right?
Yeah, but we do it Indiana doesn't do counties. Music change. I want to see if no. Okay.
Opera.
An interesting musical choice. Do you like opera?
Not a big opera fan.
Me either. I had a friend a long time ago who loved opera. Big burly, manly dude. And he loved opera. He liked listening to it in the native, like Italian, right?
Okay.
Or whatever. Whatever the language of the opera singer, he didn't care. And he would get like emotional over it. I'm like, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. And like I said, he was, like hardcore testosterone kind of guy, man. I mean, he worked in the oil field. He was
Each their own.
Huh?
Each their own.
Yeah, exactly. To each their own. And I made fun of him a little about it just because I'm like, how can you get emotional when you don't even understand the words? And he's like, no, it's the music and the voice transitions and I'm like, but you don't understand what they're even saying.
Yeah.
They could be singing like a prison love song for all you know. And like, what? Well, how can you possibly get that, excited and emotional over words you don't even understand? No, he loved it, man. He absolutely loved opera and would get, like I said, extremely. I mean, he didn't like bawl.
But you get tears.
But yeah, you could see his eyes getting a little puffy and a little moisture there. And I'm like, really, dude? It's just like sounds like glass breaking stuff to me. I mean, it's just me. I'm not much of an opera guy.
I liked Trump's speech tonight.
I did too. I really liked his speech. I honestly expected it to be more of a, this is the kind of danger that we're facing. They tried to kill my ass kind of thing, but he didn't.
No. I liked how he told the story and then he said, we're in a bad spot right now, but look to the future and what I'm going to do for it and help America.
Yeah. And it was overall, it was a very, very positive message.
And I kept thinking about how Biden and Trump are almost the exact same age.
Yeah.
And you look at Trump and you would not even guess that he's close to Biden's age.
It's a massive difference between the two. It really, really is. It's crazy.
He's in great shape for his age.
Oh, he's in phenomenal shape for his age, especially compared to Resident Ice Cream. I mean, he's like not only the sharp wit and the verbal judo that he's capable of, but also his. All right, I gotta. I can't with the opera anymore.
All right. I'll keep looking at it.
Yeah, we'll keep watching it. If anything interesting happens, I'll show you guys. They're literally just kind of, what's going on with my mouse, man? There we go. They're just spinning the cameras around and watching the guy sing. We'll keep it on there if you want. But
throwing the balloons in the air, too.
Yeah, which I would, man. All these balloons, I'm playing with them, too. Speaking of, so my middle son, Donovan, he loves like popping a balloon back and forth. Even now, he's 18. He's still, you get him around a balloon, he starts throwing it to me, expecting me to like pop it back at him. That's what we would be doing. Yeah, we would be boop, 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 back and forth with the balloon because, we're kind of dumb.
And I think the media is going to spin this, that they're going to say this is just like a Trump rally. And they're going to try to say that he didn't have any substance. That's my guess. Is how they're going to spin it.
Probably. Let's see how they do. I will say this. I was genuinely, pleasantly surprised at the call for unity at the end. The saying, look, we got some hard times, right? This administration has created terrible times for for most people. But we're going to overcome this. We're going to bring America back to what she is and what she should be. And we're going to do it together.
I think he convinced, if they watched this, the one problem that I could see with this is the speech was a little bit too long. And I don't know how many people actually watched the speech, but those who watched it, probably Trump gained some people. All right.
Yeah, we can't. I didn't think so, but I wanted to make sure we can't hear it.
But if the people that watched this speech, if they were undecided, he probably moved them to hit their column tonight.
Yeah, I would say it is possible that if people took the time to actually watch it, which I would say if you're an undecided voter, you should watch both the RNC and DNC.
I agree with that.
National committees. No audio, just checking to make sure. But yeah, it's just music in the background and a whole crap load of balloons. Like, that's a lot of balloons. You remember the old, I don't think it was it might have been a Bugs Bunny cartoon, because that's what keeps coming to mind. But the little, you see these little triangular things?
Yeah.
Right? So in Indiana, it was the same thing, but it was the counties.
Okay.
Right? And when it's over, your county, the delegates, they all sign it, and then it goes back to the county headquarters.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, we got all of them. We still have to, still got to get over there and sign it, because at the end, we couldn't find a Sharpie. The person who was in charge of the Sharpie lost it. Sharpie babysitters.
So is it alphabetical order? How do they do the seating arrangements?
So like you'll have how that triangle is. That row is for that state or county, right? And then basically all the rows until the next state/county, right? So you sit anywhere in here.
Okay.
And then the next county sits anywhere in this area,
Were you sitting by Porter County, or was it alphabetical order?
It was so weird the way that they had the counties laid out. I got some pictures that I'll show you guys if you're interested, that I took. It wasn't like you would think that it would either be alphabetical or geographical, to where the counties are right next to each other or in a line, right? Neither. I have no idea how they did it, but it was so weird, because we were by counties that were not alphabetically next to us and not geographically next to us. So I have no clue how they set it up, but ours went off fairly well without any real issues.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, this looks like it was extremely well orchestrated.
Yeah.
I will give them that. The whole thing, all things considered, went really, really well. Damn, girl got some nails. You see that? Holy crap, dude.
Don't make her mad.
That'll destroy your back, man. Be careful, JD. Look out, homie. You're going to have those scars forever, bro.
Okay.
This music, we can't hear them. Just I like to double check because I don't want to miss anything important for you guys.
Well, the Democrats convention, I believe.
Who is that? Is that Barron?
No,
it's not Barron. Who is that?
I think that's the grandson. I think that's Donald Trump Jr.'s kid.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Like
Don't quote me
Donald
on
Trump
that.
The 15th, or
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Because you don't really see them very often.
I will say this, just kind of as an aside, right? So I always thought Trump Jr. isn't a lot like his dad. Like Eric looks a lot more like Trump than Don Jr. does.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But Jr. has a lot of the mannerisms, but he doesn't look. I mean, you can tell he's his son.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying, he needs to take the Pepsi challenge or anything, but he doesn't look like usually a junior is very like, I won't say a twin, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think overall it was a really good convention.
It was
extremely well ran. There was only one, as far as I know, there was only one security incident.
Yeah.
And that was a homeless guy outside at the edge of the perimeter.
Yeah, that's the only one that they announced.
Yeah, at least that's the only one we know of. May or may not, have more, but let's check in here. I keep looking for Barron.
Yeah, I haven't seen
seen him on camera, dude.
Yeah,
is he not there?
He might.
I thought he was there.
That's what I thought.
I was actually I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting Barron to say something at some point.
They were actually going to have him be in the Florida delegation, but then for some reason, I don't know why it didn't happen.
Interesting.
And I think he was going to be the one to put Trump over the top for delegates when they go around the states.
Yeah, have him be
that would have been a neat
deciding vote. Yeah.
That would have been a neat moment.
Oh yeah, I'll say this. When I ran for office, my kids were so excited to go and vote for me. My eldest son, Orion, when he would go, so he's going to go to the voting booth, right? And he's telling us, he calls us up. He's like, "Hey, who do I vote for?" He's freshly, 18. And I was like, dude, I'm not telling you who you should vote for. If you don't know about someone, it's okay to leave it blank. You don't have to check every box when you go in and do your ballot. And he's like, well, yeah, I know, obviously I'm going to vote for you. He's really excited about that. And then when my wife ran for county council,
commissioner, isn't it?
She ran in the primary for commissioner, right?
Okay, yeah.
But she ran in the primary for county council and won, and then ran in the general for county council and barely missed it. But he was so excited to go and vote for her for that too. City council. I'm sorry, not county council. My wife ran for city council. She ran for county commissioner and then city council. She was the leading Republican for the city council, but no Republicans won. Michigan City went, no Republicans this year.
It's a pretty blue city.
It's extremely blue now, city. That's just how it is. Let's check in on the Trumpsters. See how we're doing here. What is that?
Go home. I think that's what JD Vance is.
Oh, you home?
Let's go home.
Yeah, maybe. It could be. I know I would be ready. I mean, I know I was ready to go home at the end of our convention. It was not nearly.
Was it that one day? Oh,
it was two. It was, the Friday. You go Friday, and then Friday night there's a big to-do, kind of like this, but it was more like a party. Right?
Okay.
You have a dance and a dinner and all that, right? And then the next day is this. You go in and you cast your vote and do all of that.
I might run.
What's that?
I might run the next time.
You should.
For
You
delegate.
should, yeah. We'll go down together. That was weird. Did you see that weird
I
artifact?
did. I don't know what that was.
That was interesting. I'll check that playback out. That's okay. So 224-ish in our video. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, that's a big balloon. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
The size of that thing. Good
Kimberly
Lord.
Guilfoyle.
Yeah, I see Jared in the back lurking back
Yeah,
there.
I saw it. I didn't expect to see that, Ivanka and Jared.
Yeah. I guess Ivanka has been doing a lot of breadcrumb drops on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Is what my understanding is. I don't use IG.
I don't either.
I detest Instagram. Mainly, I used to use it for my campaign, but when the terms of service came out and basically they want to have ownership of your domain name, no, not this little white boy. So I said no. But my understanding, if you follow Ivanka Trump on Instagram, she drops some interesting tidbits that,
Really?
yeah, that I recently found out about that. So there we go. That's what I expected to see. Did you see the kid on the far left, the boy? He kicked that balloon. It went boom. There, see, that's what Donovan would do. That would be Donovan.
You can only do that once.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, I think it's the screens.
Oh, that could be what it was.
Okay. Yeah, because it was weird because it looked like they
There was
just
a
kind of
glitch.
stayed in place. It was some kind of glitch or something. That's where a glitch in the Matrix, guys. Dun dun dun. I'll say this. I didn't see any. So one of the things that I was told is pay very close attention to Donald Trump's speech. There's going to be lots of comms communications in it, right? It's secret messages and coding and maybe there is, and I'm just too simple to figure it out. But it all seemed kind of vanilla.
It did.
I'm just saying, with the exception of the nod to fixing the republic.
I heard that too.
Yeah. Now that was interesting because, as you guys know, right now the republic is in deep trouble. We have strayed so far away from the founder's vision. Yeah, see?
I wonder if that was one of Vance's kids.
I'm not sure. He's walking with Trump.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Pretty sure we had music. Yep. Okay.
That could have been one of his grandkids.
It's completely possible. He has how many grandkids? 20?
I don't know if it's that many.
He's got a lot. He said, but I don't remember. I just went, wow, that's a lot of grandkids.
I want
know
to
he
say
has
14.
It could be. Yeah, it's over 10. I know that. Yeah, it was the screens. It was just weird the way that it did that. It was very, very strange.
Yep, I was right. 10.
10. It was 10. Okay, look at you. See? Shawn, that's why Shawn's the man. He's got the intel. He's got the info. He remembers all this stuff. Yeah. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of the convention. The Republican National Convention that elects the nominee for president and vice president And it's a done deal. Donald J. Trump has secured the nomination once again.
And Biden, we think Biden's going to have his convention and he'll accept it in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, which, you know what? Normally, I'm going to say this. Normally, I have no interest whatsoever in watching anything the Democrats do. I just don't. However, I think it's a good idea for all of us to pay very close attention to what they're doing. I really, really do.
Must be a nerd because I always watch it.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? I'm one of those people that is like, okay, yeah, let's watch the clips afterwards, right? I will watch the clips. Some, especially if they're entertaining. Oh, wait, hold on.
All right, they're closing
they're
the
closing
convention.
it out. Here we go.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah,
and now, to deliver this evening's benediction, please welcome Dr. Mario Dickens from Milwaukee.
Who's that?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Missed it.
Dr. Mario Dickens.
Oh, he's doing the benediction.
Okay.
I want to thank God for being here and granting me this opportunity to address the Republican National Convention 2024.
Okay.
I'm staying on script, but I got to say one thing.
Okay.
Just 4 hours ago, my granddaughter was born.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yay. Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Ayana Leah Dickens. Yes, my granddaughter is here. I just wanted to welcome her into the world on this stage. One nation under God. Reflecting on the significance of this phrase is crucial in the days to come. The path we have traveled has not been easy, but it must be navigated with dignity and perseverance. The Holy Scriptures state that the peace of God surpasses all understanding.
True.
I pray for peace in this nation. Peace on the campaign trail.
Mm-hmm.
Peace on our streets. And peace in our homes. We extend prayers for Corey Comprator, who tragically lost his life in Saturday's assassination attempt. For the innocent bystanders injured and for their grieving families, may the presence of God be with them.
I do. I'm trying to figure out
It is
what that
God
is.
who established governments,
Oh,
as
Joel
explained in
Lee. No.
Romans 13, verse 1. And for that, we are grateful. My wife, Cherie, I love you. My parents and my children know that God is the ultimate answer. As you leave this Republican National Convention, do so with the confidence that he will guide your path and keep you in his grace. My hope is that we all find joy in the days to come and embrace leadership in the up and coming elections that will guide the next 4 years with wisdom and peace. So please stand with me as I end this prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In Jesus' name, we pray. God, we give you the honor, the praise, and the glory. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
President Trump, Senator Vance, may God lead you and guide you. Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
The chair now recognizes the delegate from the state of Wisconsin for the purpose of making a motion.
Chairman Mike Wadley,
Oh, wow.
thank you so much.
for bringing this convention to the greatest state in America, Wisconsin, a great city of Milwaukee. It's been a great convention. I, Tommy Thompson, former governor of Wisconsin, along with my good friend, Governor Scott Walker, and our chairman, Chairman Brian Shimmy, the whole Republican delegation at this particular time wants to adjourn sine die the 2024 convention. Thank you, all of you, for coming. Drive safely home.
The question now occurs on the motion to adjourn the greatest Republican convention in history. Sine die. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Accordingly, the 2024 Republican National Convention stands adjourned. Sine die.
What does that mean? Sine die.
Sine die.
S-I-N-E.
Sounds Latin. I don't know. Maybe goodbye. Sine die.
Yeah, S-I-N-E. Let's see. Can you look it up?
Yeah, S-I-N-E.
Yep. And then I think it's a space and then D-A-I, I believe. Yep. And there we go. All right.
No definite date or period to resume. So basically saying we're done.
It's over. Right. Yeah. No definite date or period to resume. So that's it. That's all she wrote. And they do that because every convention is an individual process.
Yep.
The people who attend the convention are elected. The delegates, the chairman, etc., are all elected for that convention only. They don't carry over from year to year. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the 2024 Republican Convention, or at least the last part of it, with Donald J. Trump giving his speech. And it was
a good speech.
It was a good speech. It wasn't quite as powerful as some of his other speeches. Like, for example, the State of the Union. Oh my God, that was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That one was incredible. The one that Pelosi ripped up.
I remember that.
Holy crap, man. That was amazing. But yeah. So that's it. I think it went well. Thankfully, there were no major security problems. That was one thing that was a lot of us were concerned about, given the events that happened with President Trump. I mean, but luckily, nothing materialized. And so we had a fairly event-free convention. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And when is your next day that you can?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. All right. So Shawn will be back Tuesday live, and we'll figure out the rest from there. I got some content that I got to do solo in the meantime.
Okay.
Make sure you stay tuned and make sure you follow social media. I'm going to try to do a better job of keeping you guys informed as to what's coming up. Just so you know, what's going on is the wife, a person in her family passed away, and so she has to go to the funeral there. We've been dealing with that and trying to get stuff sorted, so the channel has kind of suffered a little bit, but I'm going to do my best to rectify that. And yeah, so she's going to be gone for a few days, so it's time to party. If you guys, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. My partying days are pretty over, man. I go to the club, not club. I'll go to the bar, like my buddy's club, my motorcycle club. They have a bar, And so I go there occasionally, have a drink. But my days of passing out on the floor and waking up in someone else's house in someone else's clothes are long gone. You ever had that?
I have not.
No. Did you ever got like falling down stupid drunk? Yeah,
I have.
Okay, I'm just checking. I think it's a rite of passage for men. There's a point that you have to get so like pretty much as close to alcohol. And this is not advice. Don't do this, but you basically get as close to alcohol poisoning as you can without actually getting alcohol poisoning. It's kind of a rite of passage. It's just one of those.
Yeah,
things.
my days of partying are over too.
Yeah, I'm too old for that stuff, man. Like I used to make fun of people because they went to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm sitting there, I'm watching TV, and I'm like, I get it now. I get why my mom used to fall asleep in her chair watching TV. Yeah, you put on like one of those crime shows. Oh my God, the monotonous, like Forensic Files. That for some reason that dude's voice is like level, and it'll knock me right out. My mother-in-law likes watching those crime shows, and she'll she snores like so loud, dude. Oh my God! And unfortunately, that gene did not skip a generation. So yeah. But I promised her that I wouldn't publish any of the times that I've filmed her snoring. So I would never do that. You guys would never find my body. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I truly do appreciate you spending your time with us. We got some interesting stuff coming up. Stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on social media. And Shawn will see us again on Tuesday. And you will. I don't know. That was a weird noise.
That really was.
Yeah. I think it might be a cat. The cats have started figuring out that if they jump for the doorknob, because the way that our doorknobs are, it has the lever basically. So a couple of them have figured out if they jump up and like grab the doorknob, the door will open. Oh my God. They might not have thumbs, but they are something else. They really are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. We'll see you again very, very soon. I know this was kind of long, but I think it was necessary. And I would urge, seriously, like, I don't want to watch 4 nights of DNC. Like, I don't. But we're going to do our best to at least present the important aspects of it, I think.
Okay.
Down for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'll gouge my eyes out with a spoon.
I'll probably watch it.
You said you're probably going to watch it anyway. So, yeah, if we could kind of break that down and pick out the important bits, like when they really go nuts, that would be nice. Because I don't want to have to watch, 36 hours of stupidity just to get to the, 15 minutes of, it's just me. All right. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. God bless Indiana. God bless the United States of America. And God bless President Trump. And I guess J.D. Vance. No, God bless him too. I'm just kidding. Hope you have a great evening. We will see you again very, very soon. Good night.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Shawn Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2024. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.